1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Ali Ahmed. First, the headlines. The elections for the slot of Chairman and Deputy Chairman Senate will be held tomorrow after taking oath by the newly elected senators. Prime Minister has nominated Senator Mirza Muhammad Afridi for the slot of Deputy Chairman Senate. President has said that Pakistan is desirous for regional peace and will continue its endeavors to maintain it. Foreign Office spokesperson has rejected the reports that Pakistan is importing COVID-19 vaccine from India. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred two more Kashmiri youth in Islamabad district today. In Myanmar, 8 people were killed when security forces opened fire on anti-military junta protests in different parts of the country today. And now, the news in detail. The Senate will elect its chairman and deputy chairman through secret ballot after oath-taking of 48 newly elected members of the upper house of the parliament in Islamabad tomorrow. According to the Senate Secretariat, the session will meet in the morning for oath-taking of the newly elected senators, after which the session will be adjourned. After the adjournment of the session, nomination papers for the chairman and deputy chairman will be submitted. Later, the session would resume in the evening on the same day to elect the chairman and deputy chairman of the upper house. Prime Minister Imran Khan has nominated Senator Mirza Muhammad Afridi for election to the slot of Deputy Chairman Senate. In a tweet, Minister for Information and Broadcasting Senator Shibli Faraz said the Prime Minister has given representation to the erstwhile Fatah through this nomination. Mirza Muhammad Afridi is a PTI member from ex-Fatah. Prime Minister Imran Khan has directed the secretaries of all federal ministries to visit Balochistan province every month. According to the Prime Minister's office, the direction is aimed at effectively addressing the sense of deprivation of the people of Balochistan and the province's problems. The Prime Minister further directed that the secretaries should address the issues pertaining to their ministries, divisions and departments on priority basis by visiting Balochistan province at least once a month. The federal secretaries will send a detailed report to the Prime Minister's office after their visits to the province. President Dr. Arif Alvi says Pakistan is desirous of regional peace and will continue its endeavors to maintain it. Addressing a ceremony of upgradation of War College Institute in Karachi today, he said Pakistan always adopted outstanding way forward with regard to peace with India and demonstrated high standard of moral values by returning their pilot. He said, on the other hand, India always fanned the war environment and has unleashed persecution and atrocities in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The president said Pakistan cannot want war, but we are ever ready to respond to any aggression. He said the history of the belligerent neighbors tells that it always resorted to lies before the world community. The government has given telecom sector the status of industry to improve connectivity and internet facility as per the vision of Prime Minister Imran Khan. This was stated by the Minister for Information and Technology and Telecommunication, Syed Aminul Haq, at a news conference in Islamabad this afternoon, along with Secretary IT Shoaib Ahmed Siddiqui. He said right-of-way policy for the telecom sector has been approved by the Federal Cabinet to enable telecom and internet services providers to install equipment and expand systems across the country. He said a one-window operation will facilitate the telecom sector regarding infrastructure development to fulfill the vision of Digital Pakistan. The minister said that the government has allocated 22 billion rupees for 32 IT-related projects across Pakistan. Shab-e-Miraj, the night of ascent, is being observed across the country tonight with great religious zeal. Night of 27th of Rajab is observed as Shab-e-Miraj to mark the Isra journey and Miraj ascension of Prophet Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Khatamun Nabiyyin sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was taken on a special journey to meet Allah Almighty, crossing 7 skies on the heavenly animal named Al-Buraq. This is Radio Pakistan. Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry has rejected the reports that Pakistan has been importing COVID-19 vaccine from India. Responding to a question at his weekly news briefing in Islamabad this afternoon, he said Pakistan has not entered into any bilateral procurement agreement for COVID-19 vaccine from India. He said that the International Vaccine Alliance, Gavi, has offered to provide vaccine doses to several countries, including Pakistan, under its COVAX facility. He said procurement and supply mechanism of the vaccine doses is undertaken by the Gavi and not by the recipient countries. Answering another question, the spokesperson said India is trying to bring demographic changes to the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, for which it has so far issued 3.28 million fake domicile certificates to non-Kashmiris for their permanent settlement in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. He said all such measures are illegal, which need to be reversed. Replying to a question, Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry said SAARC is an important regional forum and Pakistan is committed to its process and to hold SAARC summit. To another question, he said India is procuring arms beyond its security needs, which poses serious threat to regional peace and stability. Regarding U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's letter to Afghan President Ashraf Ghani, the spokesperson said Pakistan has consistently supported the Afghan peace process. He said Pakistan's positive contribution facilitated the US-Taliban peace agreement and the subsequent intra-Afghan negotiations. He said Islamabad has continued to emphasize that there is no military solution to the Afghan conflict and the only way forward is the political process. The Foreign Office spokesperson said it is important for Afghan parties to continue negotiations and pursue an Afghan-led and Afghan-owned peace process. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred two more Kashmiri youth in Islamabad district today. The youth were martyred during a coordinated search operation in Kandipura area of the district. Meanwhile, a complete shutdown was observed on second consecutive day today in Kralgund area of Handwara, which is the native town of martyred freedom activist Abdul Ghani Khwaja. People staged a protest demonstration and demanded dead to return body of Abdul Ghani Khwaja to them. He was martyred by Indian troops during a fake encounter in Safor. The Indian occupation forces had not handed over the body of martyr to his family and buried him at a graveyard in Gantamulla area of Baramulla district. In Myanmar, 8 people were killed when security forces opened fire on anti-military junta protests in various parts of the country today. According to the health workers, these people were killed in the Myang town and North Dagon district of Yangon. Meanwhile, UN Security Council and Amnesty International have condemned violence against protesters and urged the army to show restraint. The United Nations has urged countries to step up trials in their national courts against suspected war criminals in Syria. In a statement, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, said that attempts to refer atrocities in Syria to the International Criminal Court in The Hague for prosecution have failed. And finally, the weather report. Rain, wind, thunderstorm with snowfall over high mountains is expected in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Upper Punjab, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan during the next 12 hours. To end the news, once again the headlines. The elections for the slot of Chairman and Deputy Chairman Senate will be held tomorrow after taking oath by the newly elected senators. The Prime Minister has nominated Senator Mirza Mohammad Afridi for the slot of Deputy Chairman Senate. President has said that Pakistan is desirous for regional peace and will continue its endeavors to maintain it. Foreign Office spokesperson has rejected the reports that Pakistan is importing COVID-19 vaccine from India. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 2 more Kashmiri youth in Islamabad district today. In Myanmar, 8 people were killed when security forces opened fire on anti-military junta protests in different parts of the country today. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.